So we studied already in module 5, we studied percent, and we studied percent change, and we studied applications of percent. Then, who is going to tell me what the meaning of the word percent? What the meaning of the word percent? It is a comparison between, or it is a ratio between two parts, and the second part, it should be equal how many? It should be equal 100, right? So if we will think about, or do you know the chart of percent? The chart, which we can divide it into how many small parts? The chart of percent, we can divide it into 100 parts. We can divide it into 100 parts. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we can add 9 and what? 9 and 10. So this is called the chart of percent. We have to continue, or it will be vertical lines only. We have to continue to divide it, or it will be only vertical lines. Huh? So we have two continuous. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in front of you, I divided this chart into how many parts, grade 7? I divided this chart into how many parts? Into 100 parts, okay? Then, if we want to talk about the percent, so we said that the percent, it is a ratio between two parts. The second part should be equal 100. So if I want to say now 5%, if I want to say 5%, then I'm going to shade how many parts? If I want to represent 5 parts, yes. So I'm going to shade. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So if you have the chart, and I will ask you how many percent in front of you, then the chart already it's 100. The total chart it's 100. And if you are going to shade only 5 parts, so this one represent what? So this one represent 5 what? 5 what? Percent. Okay, if I want to represent 80%, so we have to shade how many parts from this chart? 80, right? So it depends on the number which you have. So this one, all the chart, which is consists of 100 parts. So this is the chart of percent. And it depends on the chart, you are going to represent the percent. This, if we want to talk for anything related to the chart. So the first part, we have to know what is the percent. So the percent, sorry, what is the percent? So the percent, it is a ratio between two parts, and the second term should be equal 100, because if I have 4% and I want to change it into fraction, how I'm going to represent 5% in a fractional form, grade 7? How we will make 5% in a fractional form? It will be what?
0.5.
In a fractional form.
5 over
5
100.
over 100.
Yes, 5 over 100. Very good. 5 over 100. For this reason, we said that it's a comparison between two numbers, and the second number, it should be equal 100. Let us move to the next part, which is where we can use percent, where we can use percent, Hmm. where we can use percent, grade 7. Why we have to study it, where we can use it, in which situations you can express the number by percent, in which situations. Hmm. Okay, if you want to answer, please raise your hand. Okay, Zaina, go on. Zaina, where we can use percent, yeah, Zaina.
Yes, sorry. Here. So we can use percent if there's like a sale or discount.
Okay, then we can use a percent for shopping, right?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
When like when you add taxes.
When you add taxes, yes. So in a restaurant, for example, or in our real life, we pay taxes for the government for many uh, projects they made it for the people. Yes, so we can use this. Also, we can use it in the bank, right? We can use it where also to represent the percentage of the student which they pass the exam or fail in the exam. We can use percent in vote for elections, right? So in different situations in our life, we can use percent. We have different types of questions with percent. So please concentrate with me and tell me how we can solve this question. If I will say, what percent of 20 is 5? How we can solve this question? How we can solve this question? Huh. What percent of 20 is 5? What percent of 20 is 5? We have to know that.
But we divided.
Yes, please, go on.
We divided.
We divided, no, we can translate this, yeah, Hima. Look, I have a word after is, and I have a word after of, right? Then
Yes.
what is the difference between them? So I can say now that I'm going to divide my answer into two parts. And I will put between them, I'm going to put the sign equal. Then, first of all, what percent of 20 is 5? Then, we will start with what percent, which means we don't know the percent, right? Then
Yes.
I'm going to put x in the numerator because I don't know it. And what percent, so I'm going to put 100 in the denominator because the word percent, I can translate it into percent. The word,
And 20 and 5.
yes, I can change this formula now to be is over of, okay? Is over of. So what's as is donated for, grade 7?
5.
No, what's is donated for?
20.
Okay, I want to say something. Is donated for part, okay? Is donated for part. And of donate, yani the word which comes after is represent the part, okay? And the word which will come after the word of represent what? Total. Okay, grade 7, total. Then for any question, we are going to check the answer. What percent of 20 is 5? So I'm going to use this formula directly. Then I'm going only to distribute the numbers by using this formula. So I have to put fraction, and between fraction, I'm going to put the sign equal. And then I'll back to this question. What percent of 20 is 5? What percent? So I don't know the percent, so I have to put X. Percent, I'm going to put 100 down. And then is 5, so I have to put 5. And after the word of, you have how many?
20.
20. After that,
We'll
uh,
we'll do 20 multiply 100 over 5.
excellent, Ya Abdurrahman. Very good. So it will be X equal 100 times what? Times 5 over 20. After that, we are going to simplify, right? We will cancel 0 with 0. After that, 10 divided by 2, it will be equal 5. And divided by 2, it will be equal
25.
to the answer. By the end, it will be equal 25. Okay, then for any question related to what percent or 5 is what percent of 50, we can write the question by different ways. Okay, then please, we can use this formula to calculate the percent. We can use this formula to calculate the percent. Let me give you another question. So I'm going to erase this. Okay, so I will erase this. And you will try. Do you have your notebook and your pen? Do you have your notebook and your pen? 30% is what number of 180? Let's go grade 7. How we will translate this question? 30%. 30% is what number of 180? So I will write the fractional form first. Is there anyone want to answer? If you want to answer, please raise your hand. If you want to answer, please raise your hand. 30% is what number of 180? Yes, Rahma. Rahma, go on. You are raising your hand, honey. Huh?
We do 80 over 100 as the 30 over 100.
30 over 100. Yes, very good. So she's going to translate first. 30% means what? Means 30 over 100. Yes. So means 30 over 100. And after that, with the second part, it is what number? So do you know the part?
No.
No. So for this reason, we are going to put what? X. And of 100. So after the word of, we have what?
180.
180. So this represents the total. And after that, we are going to substitute to find the answer. Then x, it will be equal. Help me, grade 7. X equal
100 multiply 30.
100 multiply 30.
No,
180 multiply 30 over 100.
Exactly. It will be 180 multiply 30 over 100. Yes. How we will simplify it? First,
0.
yes, thank you, Abdurrahman. We are going to cancel 0 with 0, 0 with 0, and 0, and then 3 times 8, it's a 24, 4, and the carry 2.
1 up.
3 times 1,
2
3,
up.
and 2 equal 5.
5.
Right? So as I said, it depends on the question. We are going to translate it, and we will put a percent over 100. If there anyone can remind me the formula again? Huh? Who will remind me the
X.
formula again? What is the standard part which we have to write it for any question? What is the standard part? Yes, word.
X over 100.
X over 100, which X donated for what?
Percent.
A percent. Thank you. So X over 100 equal what?
X over 100 equal the percentage equal is over of.
Yes, equal is over of. Right? The last question, and it will be ranks. Please try to answer it, and I want to know who will finish first. 80 is what percent? 80 is what percent of 640? Of 640. Let's go. 80 is what percent of 640? So I want to translate quickly and tell me how we can solve this question.
X.
Let's distribute. 80 is what percent, which means you can find X in this question?
No.
No, we can't find X, so we have to keep X. Right, so it will be X over 100.
100.
Right, and then
80 is 80 is up.
80 is up. Excellent. So we have to erase is and put instead of it 80. Yes, very good. And then what percent?
640.
640 should be where? In the
Down.
denominator. Yes, amazing. Very good. And then to calculate the answer, we are going to use cross product. So it will be 100 times 80 divided by 640. Then for any question, if I want to calculate or to deal with the percent, and we have what number, 30% is what number of 180, 80 is what percent of 640, what percent of 30 is 15. So we can translate a question and we can use this formula, which is X over 100 equal S over of. Also, we studied in this chapter how we can change a percent from fraction into decimal. Did you remember? Did you remember how we can change a fraction to be decimal? If you have 15%, how you are going to write it in a decimal form? If you have 15%, how we will change it into decimal form?
15 over 100 equals 0.5.
15 over 100 equals 0.5. Abdurrahman, please, I appreciate your work, but please raise your hand to give a chance to the rest of the class, okay? Because they are raising their hands. Okay, so if we have 15%, 15%, how we will change it into decimal? So we have two methods. Two methods to change 15% into a decimal. Is there anyone can tell me what is the first method? 15%. What is the first method to change this one into decimal? It will be what? Okay, word? It will be?
It will be moving decimal to
Exactly.
decimals back.
So the moving decimal, as we said in the class. So that this one, you can see any decimal point in this number. You can see any decimal point in this number. We don't have, right? But we have already a point before the number, but we will not write it because we have the integer 1. So we can move 2 digits to the left directly, which means it will be 0.15 or 0.15 hundredth. There is another way. We said I wrote in front of you 2 branches. The first branch, if you want to move a decimal point to the left directly, the second branch to write the number in a fractional form. So how you write a number in a fractional form? So it will be 15 over 100. And after that, 100 means you can see 2 zeros in the denominator, which means the decimal point, it will be after 2 digits, which then the answer, it will be 0.15. Okay, so this is how we can change a percent from fraction into decimal. Let me ask you another question. The next question, I will say, convert 225 to percent. Sorry, 2.25 to percent. How we can change this number to be percent? Yes, Adam, go on. Adam was.
We will make it times 100.
Exactly. So if we have a number and we want to change this number to be percent, so we have to multiply the number, multiply by percent. Thank you, Adam. So you have 2.25. It will be how many times?
Don't understand.
If you want your Rahma to change any number to be percent, then you will multiply it by 100 directly. When we said, let me show you something here, Rahma. When you have 25%, you made what, ya Rahma? 25%. Huh? You changed this one and you told me that it will be 25 over 100, right? 25 over what? 100. But if you have a number without the percentage form and you want to convert this one to be percent, so we have to multiply by 100 and then you will put the sign for percent. So if I will ask you to convert now 52, Rahma, convert 52 to be percent, what you have to do? For 0.052. I want to convert this one to make it in a percentage form. If you want to answer, please raise your hand. I want to change this one to be in a percentage form. How we can change this number to be in a percentage form? 0.052 to be percent. What we have to do? We will multiply 0. We will multiply 0.052 multiply by 100. So the answer, it will be what? It will be what? 5.2, and then we will write percent. 5.2, and then we will write percent. Okay, then for the first part, yes, Abdurrahman Subh, you want to answer, or do you have a question?
No, I want to.
Okay, then thank you so much, Abdurrahman. Then for this part, which we revised it already, we studied how we can convert any number to be percent. Any number to be percent, you will multiply by 100. If you have the number in a percentage form and you want to change it into fraction or decimal, if you want to change it into fraction, you will put it over 100, which means 15%, it will be 15 over 100. If you want to change it into decimal, then you will put the sign after 2 digits. Then, if you have any number in a percentage form and you want to change it into decimal quickly, which means you will move the decimal point 2 digits to the left. Okay, let's move to the next part. Also, we want to revise together today, and you will find this revision sheets. You will find it in our SMS for revision. The second part which we studied was what grade 7. It was percent of change. Did you remember? Percent of change. Percent of a change, how we will calculate the percent if you want to change. So first here, from 200 to 500, if this question now or this number, it will be increase or decrease. From 200 to 500.
Increase.
Increase, yes. So this one, it will be increase. And I want, yes.
I know the answer.
You know the answer, okay. So if I want to calculate or to find the answer for the first question, here, from 200 to 500, Abdurrahman, could you please tell me which formula we are going to use?
500 minus 200 over 100.
Okay, and then over 100?
No. Over 200.
Over 200. Could you please tell me the formula? Formula?
Original.
الجريتر, right? الجريتر
Yes.
minus السمولر
Lower.
over الأوريجينال multiply 100, right? So we will write greater minus السمولر over original multiply 100. Which one is greater here? 500 is greater, right? 500 is greater. Minus 200 over what? Over الأوريجينال. الأوريجينال here was
200.
100. So the answer, it will be what? 500 minus 200. So it will be how many?
300.
300 over 200. In simplest form, it will be 3 over 2, right? And then if I want to change this one into percentage, so we have to multiply by how many? You have to?
100.
Yes, we have to multiply by 100. Who will give me the final answer? Who will give me the final answer? Guess what?
3 over 2 is equal 1.5, so we will do 1.5 times 100.
Excellent. So the answer directly, it will be how many?
150.
150%. Yes, it will be 150%. So the answer for the first question here, it will be 150%. Then you can solve this practice. I'm going to put it in assessment in our SMS folder. And once you will finish, then you can check your answers. So you have all the answers down. So this is not to copy the answer, but you are going to only answer and then check your answers. Maybe sometimes we have this part or percent of a change comes like a word problems. So Bob got a raise and his salary wage increased from 12 to 15. Okay, so in this question, he said that that Bob got what? Got what? Raise. So we have to add or subtract?
Increase. Add.
Add. So we have to add. Okay, and his hourly wage increase from 12 to 15. What is the percent increase? How we can solve this question directly, my dear students? So we have to do what?
9 plus 12.
This is 12 to 15. So we have to start from the bigger
The
number
great
minus the smaller number, which it was 12, over what the original was?
12.
12 times 100. Okay, so this is to calculate the percent of what? The percent of change. Then it will be 15 minus 12, which means it will be equal 3 over 12, which quarter. Then the percent, if there anyone can tell me the percent, it will be what?
25.
25. Thank you, Abdurrahman. So it will be 25%. Then, as I told you in this sheet, please try to study and then you will solve and then you have the model answer to check your answers. All the questions have the same idea. Like the price of pair of shoes increased from 20 to 32. What is the percent increase? At a coffee shop, the price of a cup of coffee increased from 1.2 $100 to 1.44. What is the percent increase? So promise that you are going to work hard during the weekend for your quiz, grade 7.
Miss, when is the quiz?
The quiz, it will, inshallah, it will be next Monday. Then I'm going to put for you this revision sheets to revise during the weekend. And if you have any question, please come to me next Sunday. What else we can find in this? Also, we want to revise together discount and simple interest. Did you remember simple interest? Remember simple interest? Could you please tell me which formula we use it with simple interest? Is there anyone can remind me which formula? Yes, Yaward, go on.
The formula is principal times the rate
So
times the time.
The interest equal P times R times T, right? And we said that P represent what?
The principal.
P represent the principal and R
Rate.
The rate.
and T
Time.
time. And we have to know for each branch how we are going to write it. So principal, this is the amount of money which you are going to start with, or you borrow it from the bank. The second rate, we have to express it by what? Rate by decimal form, right? So this one, it should be percent, and we are going to change it into decimal form. So this is percent. And what about T? T should be bear what? It should be bear what? Bear years. What about if you will give you the information bear month? What we have to do?
Over 12.
Over 12. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Thank you. Then, as I told you, we have to use this formula. So determine the simple interest of these loans, $450. So this is represent what? Could you please translate and tell me for each question here, each one represent what? Each one represent what? 450 now represent what?
In the principal.
The principal. So this one represent the principal. So this is principal. And 7T, this is represent what? 7% represent what? R. R. Yes, so this is represent R. Sorry. And what's 2 years represent? Time. Yes. So the first one represent principal, and this is represent R, and we have to change it into decimal, so that it will be 0.07, and then 2 years we will replace, and then we can find the answer for the questions. Also here you have many questions, and also you will find the model answer or key answer for each question. You will find this one in our assessment extra practice. Then open assessment module 5. I'm going to post a new sheet called extra practice. What else you can find in this folder? You will find the third one. It's about mark up and mark down or discount. Okay, then you will find for this chapter, because our meeting is almost finished, original price of the computer was 500 and we have tax 6%, so the selling price. So in this question he said that the original price was 500, so we have to calculate what, grade 7, so we have to calculate the amount of tax first, so it will be 6% times 500, and then we will add it to the original price. Then this was general revision about our chapter, which it was